Hey my dudes, I'm an American living in Sweden and I'm hosting Friendsgiving for 22 people. This is prep day 3. Today I mostly did dessert prep, but I did start with cranberry sauce. It's so easy to make. Like, I know people buy the canned stuff because of the shape, but really, it only takes 2 seconds to make yourself. With that on the stove, I organized my pecans. In my pecan tart, you need pecans 3 different ways, whole and unroasted for the top, and then slightly toasted, both chopped and ground for the filling. So I picked out the prettiest nuts, then threw the rest in the oven, checked the cranberry sauce, and once the nuts were done, I roughly chopped 50 grams. Then I milled the rest of the nuts into pecan flour. I love doing this. The whole kitchen is filled with the smell of pecans and it's just so lovely. With all the nuts prepared, I could get started on the pecan tart filling. It's just butter and the sugars mixed together, then in with the eggs one at a time, in with the pecan flour, and lastly you fold in the chopped pecans. Easy peasy. And at this point, all my cranberries had popped, but the sauce was looking thin. This is a PSA for those of you living in Sweden. I have found that fresh cranberries have a lot of pectin and act the way you expect. Like, as soon as they burst, the sauce is a pectin party and it's really thick and good to go. But the frozen cranberries, I don't know, man, they have like no pectin. So I shredded an apple and cooked that in. Apples have a lot of pectin and a fairly neutral flavor, so this is a good quick fix if your cranberry sauce is too liquidy. Anyways, once that was done, I made the filling for the apple crumble. You don't really need to pre-cook this, but I didn't want to be peeling apples on party day, so it's just easier to make ahead. I peeled all the apples plus some pears I had kicking around and chopped them into big chunks. I strained off the acidulated water and then weighed out 15% sugar and a touch of cinnamon. The apples got cooked just until some of them had burst, and then they got put in the fridge. Next up, I sliced all the bread I had made yesterday into thick slices, then diced it. I prefer the look of diced bread in my stuffing as opposed to torn. Both work, it's just a personal preference. I think because my dad always made his stuffing with diced bread, and I am making his recipe. Those got put on the speed rack to dry. The last thing to be made was the pumpkin tart filling. Again, this is not something that needs to be made ahead, rather something that can be made ahead. The key is to cook the pumpkin puree with the spices to cook off any extra water. This ensures a lot of flavor and no watery pie. Or in this case, tart, I guess. I mixed in the rest of the ingredients and then popped that also in the fridge. The last thing I did was polish some silver. I usually do the baking soda and foil method, but I wanted to try this silver polish I found at the grocery store, and I have to say it worked pretty well. The small plates are going to be for water jugs and wine bottles, and then the candlesticks are, well, candlesticks, but all were heavily tarnished, and I felt that they got pretty shiny. Not perfect, but I also kind of got tired of polishing. And that was that for today. See you tomorrow. Hey, Dua!